The Eastern Conference Finals are right around the corner, but who should be sounding the siren for the Carolina Hurricanes home games? We talk about that and more in this episode of Locked On Hurricanes.
Your Locked On Hurricanes, your daily podcast on the Carolina Hurricanes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey there, Caniacs. I'm your host, Jared Ellis, and I am joined once again by my co-host, Andrew Schnitker. How you doing today, Andrew?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great, actually. We've got a very fun episode planned for the people today.
Yes, we do. We had to pivot. We had some scheduling conflicts with Wade Minter today, so we decided we're going to have some fun in this episode today. I'm wearing my hoodie, the Silly Goose University, and we're going to be silly gooses in this episode. And we're going to dive right on into this. Okay, the conference final is right around the corner. It starts tomorrow on Thursday, and obviously the Hurricanes have been going all out with their siren sounders, and they just keep getting bigger and bigger as the playoffs go on. And we decided we're going to have a crack at who we think we should be sounding siren in the conference final. Obviously, some of the bigger names, we're kind of saving those for the Stanley Cup final. So, a name like Julius Peppers or Dale Earnhardt Jr., not going to see him on this list. That's for the Stanley Cup final. But we did limit it to North Carolina sports figures, and we each have 5 names here. Andrew, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, to start off, I'm going with Dennis Smith Jr. He's a point guard for the Hornets and also a former point guard for NC State and a Fayetteville native. So you've kind of got the trifecta there. The Hurricanes have had a couple Hornets players already. I think Dennis, if he'd be willing to do it, would be a really good one. He had a really good year for the Hornets. He was really good. The team was not, but he was really good in his lone year at NC State. Although technically, according to the NCAA, because of some money that changed hands that really should not have changed hands between the hands that it did change from, he technically never played for NC State. But as we all know, that is not true. He has played well in a Wolfpack uniform in PNC, one of the better point guards in program history, even though he only played 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, him this past year, him kind of coming home to the Hornets and playing well after a bit of a tumultuous start to his NBA career was a really cool story. So I think that would be a fun one for sure.
I do as well. And I am sticking with the Charlotte area, and I'm going with the Carolina Panthers, and that is their star defensive end, Brian Burns. I mean, it's going to be awesome. He is loved by the Panthers fan base. He's, I believe, 2-time Pro Bowler now. He's, again, one of the key pieces of that franchise, and we've seen multiple Panthers players in the past come in, sound the siren, do great. Luke Kuechly, Christian McCaffrey. We've seen these guys before. They always get a really, really big reaction, and why not? Pretty much, why not? If he'd be willing to do it, I think it would be great. The Hurricanes, they've obviously been up to Bank of America Stadium before doing stuff there. And, let's return the favor. Let's bring those guys down here, have them sound the siren as well.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of Panthers on this list because fight fire with fire, right? State that the Carolina Panthers are the real Panthers. Ignore the fact that the Florida Panthers have had much more success in recent years, but still, the Carolina Panthers are the real ones. And a bit of a disclaimer, too. We're not going huge necessarily. We're going pretty big, but not huge with the names on this list because we are leaving the biggest of the big names for potentially doing this again, hopefully, in a few weeks for the Stanley Cup final. So So you will not, if there are some, bigger names that you might have thought you should hear here that you don't, stay tuned. Hopefully we'll be talking about those in short order. I'm going to keep it right here with the Panthers. Like we've said, we've got several Panthers on this list. Bryce Young, the hope, the savior, hopefully, of the Panthers franchise. Their number one pick, the guy they hope is their new franchise quarterback, had an incredible year at Alabama, won the Heisman Trophy, not last year, but the year before. He can do a lot of great things. Panthers fans really, again, hope that he is the guy to help turn this thing around. So let's get him started in the North Carolina sports community with a Hurricanes playoff game. Let's get him on that siren. I'm sure this would get everybody pumped up. The only unfortunate thing would be if the Hurricanes were to lose the game in which Bryce Young sounds the siren, then he is a draft bust no matter what he does on the field for the Panthers. So no pressure, Bryce.
Yeah. Definitely hoping he can play really well for the Hurricanes. Now, I am changing it up. I am going with a professional wrestling tag team that I have been pushing to have on the siren for quite some time now, and that is North Carolina's own FTR, formerly known as the Revival in WWE, obviously over in AEW now. Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, they both, big Bret Hart fans. They obviously talk hockey with him. Current AEW World Tag Team Champions. Get them out there with the belts. Raise them up. Honestly, that'd be a great Stanley Cup final one too. You're fighting for the championship, especially if like the cup's in the building. That'd be awesome. They have their belts there. But yeah, just raising up the belts, sounding siren. These guys are gonna go all out. Dax, he's probably gonna have a little bit of tequila as well. It'd be so much fun. And then Dax probably bring his daughter out there too. She's adorable. And this would be one, folks, when they're here in the state, people go nuts for them. They are a beloved tag team. So why not? It's one of those, it just fits right. They're proudly from here. They don't try to hide the fact, that they're where they say, they're billed from another place when they're actually from here. It's not like that. They say they're from Asheville, North Carolina. They're proud to be from here. So, have them out here for the Hurricanes games. Plus, they want to do it. When I have mentioned getting them on the siren, they have liked those tweets. They will do it, schedule permitting. But Andrew, who is your next one?
Yeah, I think that would be a really fun one. It's always cool to highlight, local homegrown people and groups like that. So I think that's a great idea. Another Panther, this time a retired Panther, a Panthers legend, wide receiver Steve Smith. Bit of an acrimonious departure from the Panthers before he spent his last few years in Baltimore, but he's kind of really come back to the Charlotte sports community. But, he lives in Charlotte. He's been around the Panthers a lot. Legendary, one of the best receivers in NFL history, obviously the best receiver in Panthers history. You look at some of the seasons that he had for that team in the early 2000s. He had 7 seasons of over 1,000 receiving yards for the Carolina Panthers. I think that would be a great one, and I think that would definitely get the football fans in the building hyped up because Steve Smith has a very hype you up type personality.
Yeah, I agree. And sticking with Charlotte now, but going back to the Hornets, I have LaMelo Ball, the face of the Hornets franchise. A key piece in them. Obviously, last season was not good. That team was just riddled with injuries. You can obviously go listen to Locked On Hornets for more about that. But LaMelo, again, he's the face of that franchise. If he's willing to do it, get him out here. And hopefully he can have some help soon with the Hornets getting the number 2 pick in last night's draft lottery. But yeah, he's the face of their franchise. Why wouldn't you want to get him out there? It makes total sense of getting him out here. Yeah, he's not from here, but he's a key piece in the North Carolina sports scene with him being the star player for the Hornets. So it just makes sense if you're able to get him and he's willing to do it. Get him out here. If they could get their hands on one of those old Hornets Knights warm-up jerseys, put them in that. Same with Dennis Smith Jr. Put him in the Hornets night jerseys, or anything they want to wear, really.
The Hornets, that mint green jersey that the Hornets have would also be a good option. Those things are so cool. But
I know.
Yeah, LaMelo Ball is a really fun basketball player to
Mm-hmm.
watch. And yeah, like you said, hope, Panthers just got the number 1 pick, took Bryce Young. Hornets have the number 2 pick. Hopefully both of those franchises will be on the rise. We've seen what the Hurricanes have become. We would be very cool to see all 3 major professional sports franchises in North Carolina doing well, playing well. I say major, the big 4 is usually NHL, NFL, NBA, MLB. You obviously have others like, soccer locally with the North Carolina Courage that have done well. The Durham Bulls are a minor league baseball championship machine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, getting the Hornets and Panthers going would be fun. But I'm actually going to veer into the college ranks with this next one.
Mm-hmm.
The Hurricanes for these always like to have big time NC State, Duke, UNC coaches. Dave Doran did it in the first round. I
Mm-hmm.
believe Duke's current football coach, why am I blanking on his name?
You're
Did
good.
it in the first round. This is gonna about Mike Elko. Yeah, led a great first season in his first year at Duke. So I'm gonna go with though a little bit. I'm not gonna go with football or basketball. I'm gonna go with NC State baseball coach Elliott Avent. That
Mm-hmm.
man has pretty much been coaching baseball at NC State longer than you and I have been alive. He is NC State. That man lives, breathes, eats, whatever you want to say, NC State baseball. Anytime you talk to him, you will hear about how much he loves NC State and baseball. He's been a supporter of the Hurricanes over the years. He's done the Siren before. It doesn't get much more Raleigh sports community than Elliott Avent, just when you look at how long he's been here and what he has meant to so many different people around the community. I think that would be a great one for this series.
Yeah, that one would make a lot of sense. And then, something that the Hurricanes have done a lot, they've already done it this postseason, is Hurricanes alumni. So you can never go wrong with that. And I'm going with fan favorite, key piece in this team getting turned around, if he'd be able to do it, is Justin Williams. Like that one, that's another one that could go Stanley Cup final too, but we put him here. He's kind of one of those names that goes for both. But he needs no introduction. We all know, what he's done for this franchise in both stints here in the early or sort of mid 2000s, I guess. And then whenever they kind of turn the page into being relevant again, being a key piece and captaining this team to the conference final back in 2019 and getting them set on the right track before he ended up calling it a career. Loved by fans. You always see Justin Williams jerseys, new jerseys and old jerseys. You always see him. Everyone loves Justin Williams. He's gonna get, out of all the names we have listed, he may get the biggest reaction. Maybe. But you'd be guaranteed to get the crowd pumped. You throw him out there, it's guaranteed. They're gonna break some sort of decibel record. But yeah, who is your last name? Andrew.
Yeah, I feel like Justin Williams is a good one. I feel like you've got to keep him in reserve, though, in your back pocket because it hasn't happened yet. But we know if the Hurricanes play any Game 7s left in these playoffs, it would be at PNC Arena. You've got to have Mr. Game 7 for game.
Yeah, that would be.
He did one of them. He did one of them against the Bruins for Game 7 last year, I think.
Yeah, that would definitely be the caveat there. If they play a Game 7. Got to have Justin Williams opening the siren. 100% agree there.
You don't want to burn Justin Williams in a Game 5. No, my last one, we're going back to the Panthers. We're going with a legendary Panther, probably one of the top 2 or 3, most beloved Panthers of all time. A guy who was just awesome to watch on the field, brought so much energy. One of the best linebackers in the NFL when healthy. Unfortunately, concussions ended his career much sooner than it should have ended. But there ain't no way that the crowd is not going insane if you put Luke Kuechly out there on that siren. So he would be my top choice. Again, fight Panthers with Panthers, fight fire with fire. You have got to get Luke Kuechly out there for this series.
Yeah, he had arguably the best siren sounding ever We all have seen the video of him just cranking the mess out of it. That siren is going to be shaking in its wheels, boots, or whatever you'd want to say.
Legs,
Yeah,
stand, yeah,
yeah.
something like that.
It's going to be terrified. It's already broken once this playoff. Okay, you throw
Shout out
Luke
Isaiah
Kuechly
Moore.
out, that handle, it's gone. It is absolutely gone, and that is honestly maybe my number 2 out of all of these. Again, I've personally been pushing for FTR for quite a while, but my last one is a just not only North Carolina sports legend, but just sports legend in general, and that is Richard Petty. He is one of the greatest NASCAR drivers of all time. From here, it makes total sense. If he is able to do it, I say get him out there. Yeah, obviously he's a bit older, so I don't necessarily know if he'd be able to get out there and do it. Last I heard, yeah, I think he was in pretty good health, but if he's able to get out there and do it, that's another one. Like any of the Panthers players, Justin Williams, yeah, he's going to get a insane reaction. They do NASCAR night here for a reason. Everyone loves NASCAR here. Put him out there. It makes total sense. That would go phenomenal. It'd get the crowd insanely pumped if you put him out there. And
Yeah,
that's obviously one. It wouldn't even just get the Hurricanes fans pumped. It'd probably just get anyone who likes motorsports pumped.
Yeah, I think
See
you
him
you
out
can
there
never
on the
go
siren,
wrong
whether
with
you're
the NASCAR legends out at these games.
whether you're a Hurricanes fan, a Panthers fan, a Stars fan, a Golden Knights fan, you see him sounding the siren, you're like, holy crap, that's cool, So that's one. Regardless of what team you root for, that's one. Everyone is gonna like that one. But obviously, conference final coming up. A lot of folks are going to be traveling here to watch these games. Obviously from all over the North Carolina area, surrounding states like Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina, and of course you're going to have folks coming up from Florida to watch their team on the road. Hopefully, hoping that their team can get a win here in Raleigh, but we'll see about that. But with all these visitors, we want to talk about, some places that you can, chow down, places that, you're going to be guaranteed, you can watch a Hurricanes game. If you're going to be here for an extended period of time, you're going to want to watch an away game or whatever. We're going to talk about all of those right after this quick break, folks. Now, folks, all right, a championship for a championship team, it's all about making sure every player is the perfect fit. It's the same when it comes to your vehicle. Every part needs to fit just right. So the next time you need parts and accessories, head over to eBay Motors. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, you can be sure every part you need fits just right the first time around. Just add your ride to My Garage and look for the green check to know that the part will fit or your money back. Because just like in sports, confidence is the name of the game when you shop eBay Motors. And with over 122 million parts to choose from, you'll be back in the game in no time. After all, it's easy to bring home a win when the right parts are guaranteed. Get the right parts, the right fit, and the right prices on ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available for U.S. customers. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. Now, again, it's the conference final. A lot of folks are going to be traveling here to Raleigh. That's guaranteed, whether there's Hurricanes fans, whether they're Panthers fans, whether they're just folks covering the series. And, one thing we love to do here, we love to eat good food, and Raleigh has a really, really good food scene, for Southern cuisine. And, we want to, talk about these because, especially, if, for whatever reason you aren't able to get to the game or, you're going to be here for an extended period of time. Say you're going to be here for like a game 3 or whatever. You're on a little vacation here in Raleigh and you want to go somewhere and watch an away game or whatever it may be. And we're going to talk about all that stuff here. We're going to, quick fire some of these with, two right off the bat, being North Carolina goats, really, of Bojangles and Cookout. You can never go wrong with these. They're honestly great. They are also, really good if you're wanting to go tailgate as well. That's another thing with a lot of these. Get you a to go plate, or a to go platter or something like that. Take it with you to PNC Arena to tailgate. The Bojangles, not too far from PNC Arena. You can go there, get your big bow box, and take it on over. Enjoy some fried chicken, some sweet tea, and whatever else you fancy.
Yeah, if it's your first time at Bojangles, you got to start out with a 4-piece chicken supremes meal with fries. If you like tea, try theirs. I do not, so you also can't go wrong with an ice cold Mountain Dew, lemonade, whatever you want. You'll get 4 chicken tenders, a biscuit. Try the fries first, but their mac and cheese is also really good. They have other good sides. Like Jared mentioned, you can get a tailgate box of fried chicken, biscuits, sides for your tailgate. And then Cookout, the great thing there is you get what's called the Cookout tray, where you get a meal like a burger, chicken tenders, corn,
There's so much to
quesadilla,
choose from.
whatever. And the thing is, though, like you can get like a corn dog, chicken nuggets, quesadilla, whatever, for options as your 2 sides. Like you can get, so there's so many options. You can get a tea, you can get a soda, try Cheerwine, North Carolina famous, born in Salisbury, a cherry soda that is very good. And they also have like 60 some different milkshake flavors if you are in the mood for a milkshake. So that is a good option for tailgating. Also a good option for a post-game meal if you want one, especially if you might.
Or pregame.
Yeah. If you happen to get a little bit, enjoy some storm brews during the game and you're a little hungry after, Cookout is always a great option. Just expect a long drive-through line, especially if you go to the one on Western Boulevard near the arena.
Yes, and actually, what I thought you were going to go into our next one for pregame. That's why I mentioned it. Is Backyard Bistro is right across the street from PNC Arena. You can literally just park and walk, but you can't park there and then walk over to PNC Arena. You'll get towed for that. But yeah, I mean, it's got North Carolina sports stuff everywhere. That's where they host the Canes Corner stuff, that they do on the radio, where Mike Maniscalco will interview players. They do that. They're always really good food there. Another good one downtown is Players Retreat. Got a whole bunch of NC State stuff there. Can never go wrong going there either.
Yeah, Players Retreat right there on NC State campus on Hillsborough Street. Great burgers, sandwiches, good wings. I actually watched, and that's another good place to watch an away game. Actually, I watched Game 7 against the Capitals in 2019 there with some friends when I was in college, and it was packed. I honestly didn't expect this going in, but it was packed with Hurricanes fans watching the game, and it made for a really cool atmosphere. The place, like, I wish I had taken a video in hindsight, but that place erupted when Brock McGinn scored the overtime winning goal in that series. So that is definitely a very fun venue for Hurricanes games.
Yes, I know. I was watching that game at home with my dad. I'll let you take the next one because I haven't been to this next one, Andrew. You tell us about this one.
Yeah, so if you also near the arena, good pregame meal option. If you are in the mood for Italian, Amedio's Italian restaurant, again, right there on Western Boulevard, pretty close to the arena, an NC State staple, NC State restaurant, all kinds of NC State stuff up in there, but really, really good Italian food, good pasta.
No, wait, I have heard of them.
Some people will try to call it a pizza place. It is not. It is an Italian restaurant, but they do have good pizza, some good sandwiches. The calzone is actually really good. So definitely another good option for you there.
Yeah, I know you started talking about it. It's just a name I hadn't seen in a really long time. So it didn't click. And then you started talking about oh, wait, that place. Old Time Barbecue is another really, really good one. You're going to see a lot. You're going to see a theme here. We got a lot of barbecue on here. It is, of course, a North Carolina staple. And then obviously, you're getting up early, to go to the game. You want to do some sightseeing or whatever. You want some breakfast. Big Ed's or Flying Biscuit for breakfast. You can never go wrong with either of those. They are phenomenal. Another thing, we didn't have on here, but Raleigh has some really, really good coffee places as well. Jubla Coffee. They have multiple locations. There is Deja Brew. There's Raleigh Morning Times, Sir Walter Coffee. The list goes on and on. There is, if you love coffee and are here in Raleigh for this conference final, you will have no shortage of finding coffee. Another really good one that I just thought about in Morgan Street Food Hall is Bad Cat Cafe. That one's really good. They do this one with like chocolate chip cookies in there. So good. And
Morgan
then
Street Food Hall in general is a good option
Mhm.
downtown because you've got all kinds of different. If you're traveling with like a group and you've got people in the mood for different stuff, go in there. Everybody can find something, get what they want, and then sit down inside or outside and eat together.
Mhm.
That's a downtown, not too far from the arena, so that's another good one.
Yeah, and speaking of Morgan Street Food Hall, right across the street from it is Flying Saucer. I absolutely love this place. I have a shirt from there. I'm part of their beer club. So I am always there. You go in, you'll see the saucers, all over the place. From people who have tried, 200 plus different beers, and it is phenomenal. Always a great environment there. The staff is super, super friendly. The food is good. I personally all tend to go with their loaded fries surprise, where it's just like loaded fries with cheese and bacon, chives, and then you can get it with or without jalapenos on top. But the surprise is that there is queso underneath.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
And then their French dip is really good. They have a great beer selection as well.
I love a good
One of the
French dip.
bigger ones around. We'll talk about the biggest here next. The Flying Saucer is great. Always a great, great environment there. Staff, again, super friendly. And I just love going there. I may go there later today. But the next one is a stop, for just really any tourist, whether you're here for, the conference final or anything else, is the Raleigh Beer Garden, a little bit up from some of these former other places we've talked about. They have really good food. It's really good food. I personally really love their mushroom Swiss burger. But they do have the world record for most beers on tap. They have the little Guinness pictures up in there. They've been on CNN and a whole bunch of other stuff, talking about this. So they have 3 floors. There's the first floor, where they have like the really big beer wall. They also have a little tiny spirit bar, before you get to that one as well. Just thinking about the layout. Then there's the second floor, which is more spirits, and then they have their rooftop bar as well. I want to say it's like over 300, 400 beers or something like that on tap. Crazy amount of stuff. They also have their patio out back, and it's massive. The first time I went out there, like, it just keeps going and going and going. They have like an old bus out at the back that they've converted into a bar, and it's absolutely crazy. It's a must. It's a must go. If you're here, you got to go there and experience that. It's a really, really, really fun place with really good food as well.
Yeah, I love Raleigh Beer Garden. I actually celebrated my 21st birthday there when I was in college. So that's a fun place to go for sure. A lot of people who come here for hockey games seem to end up staying around the North Hills area. It's actually, there's apartments there. That's where a lot of the younger Hurricanes players live. So some of these other places on here, I think, are going to be places that players like to go to get food. But you've got another barbecue option over there with Barbecue Lab. That's good stuff.
Good.
Yard
One
House,
of the best
again,
barbecue places here.
Yard House, another good place if you want to go, grab a beer, watch a game. I can attest to that. They have some good food. Highly recommend the Giant Pretzel. Very, very good. And then Cowfish, kind of an interesting place. It's actually it's got sushi and burgers. So if you've got people in your group that want to go out for sushi, but you've got other people in the group like myself who personally do not care for sushi, they also have really good burgers. So that's a good option too.
They do. And, a little ways away from North Hills is Torchy's Tacos. I personally love this place. I know it's a chain, but it's so good. I love their tacos. It's so good. Actually, that's probably where I'm going to end up going later on today. Um, to meet a friend over there. But that one's again, you never go wrong with tacos. They're really, really good tacos. And then another place, it's not in Raleigh, it's in Cary, which is just a little ways away, is Sports and Social. We felt like we needed to mention this one because they do host unofficial watch parties. Obviously, the official one is with Carolina Ale House, where they'll put, Wade Minter, Storm Squad, that's where like all the bells and whistles will be. But Sports and Socials is, from what I've heard, is really, really fun. I have not had a chance to go to one of the watch parties, but one of my coworkers, his daughter goes to those a lot, and a lot of Hurricanes alumni end up going there, like Eric Cole, Cam Ward, those guys. They end up going to those, and from what I've heard, you need to get to that place early for these watch parties that they do. If for whatever reason you can't get to, games 1 or 2 here, but you still want to like experience, something, that from what I've been hearing is a really, really fun spot. I believe it's a bit newer as well. So people are still, starting to find out about this place. But from everything I'm hearing, it sounds like it's another way. It's another place. Like if you're able to go to a watch party there, it's pretty darn fun.
Yeah, definitely. I might have to check that out at some point in these playoffs.
Yes, and we ended up, again, conference final is right around the corner, and we decided we're gonna have a little bit of fun with Google's new AI, Google Bard. We asked it who is going to win the conference final, and it's not the most accurate. And we will talk about what it had to say right after this quick break. Quick break, folks. Attention, active individuals. Are you tired of sacrificing your comfort for style when it comes to your activewear? Introducing Bird Dogs, the game changer in athletic shorts. Picture this: premium shorts designed for maximum performance combined with unparalleled comfort. Bird Dogs are here to revolutionize your workout routine. With their unique built-in liner, these shorts offer ultimate support and flexibility, ensuring you stay comfortable even during the most intense workouts. And here's the best part: Bird Dogs are more than just workout gear, they're versatile enough to take you from the gym to the street without skipping a beat. Designed with pockets that actually work, Bird Dogs give you ample space to store your essentials while you're on the move. Bird Dogs are made with premium breathable fabric that keeps you cool and dry throughout your activities, perfect for the trails, the gym, or simply lounging around. Bird Dogs are the shorts you've been searching for. I wore mine to Monday Night Raw in Greensboro the other night, and they were extremely comfortable. Order your pair of Bird Dogs today and join thousands of satisfied customers who have made the switch. Visit birddogs.com/lockedonnhl to get a free custom Bird Dogs Yeti style tumbler with every order, where style meets comfort and performance meets perfection. Get yours now and unleash your true potential. Now, this was fun. This was fun messing around with Google Bard. We've been wanting to do this for a while, start using this on the show because frankly, it gives us laughs. Disclaimer, not all this stuff is going to be accurate because again, it is AI and it is not great, but
it's a little bit outdated.
It's a little outdated, but we did have some fun here. So we kept it simple with this one. We didn't get too crazy. We were tossing around some questions. This was our favorite one that we did. We asked it, will the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference Final? Pretty darn straightforward here. It responded, the Carolina Hurricanes and Florida Panthers are evenly matched teams, and it is difficult to predict who will win the Eastern Conference Final. Pretty good, start off. The Hurricanes have a strong offense led by Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov. He's out. And they have a deep defensive core led by Jacob Slavin and Redacted. So, yeah, again, a bit outdated here. We got guys that are hurt, guys that no longer play for this team. So, yeah, you're not off to a great start, Google Bard. Not off to a great start. The Panthers have a high-powered offense led by Jonathan Huberdeau and Alexander Barkov. Huberdeau is now in Calgary. So again, bit outdated here. Google Bard needs to get up with it. And they have a strong goaltending tandem led by Sergei Bobrovsky and Spencer Knight. Spencer Knight is obviously in the player wellness program, so we obviously wish him the best. But Google Bard, what you doing, man? The Hurricanes have home ice advantage in the series, and they will be looking to use their advantage. Yes, very true there. Now, this is where it gets really bad. We can kind of forgive, some of the roster stuff of, guys, that are no longer here, guys that are hurt. Kind of forgive that. But this one just makes no sense. The Panthers have never won a playoff series in their history, and they will be looking to break that streak. They went to the Stanley Cup final in 1996. They have one playoff series. It took them quite a while to win another one, but they have won playoff series before. Andrew, what are you thinking so far through all of this?
Well, I think it's not great. It's a little bit outdated, but it's got some overarching themes and bits and pieces right here. Sebastian Aho and Alexander Barkov, that's right. And then really, you can swap Matthew Tkachuk in for Jonathan Huberdeau, and for the Hurricanes, you can swap Jordan Martinook in for Andrei Svechnikov. So, that makes it work
and
a little bit.
Brent Burns, they're in behind Jacob Slavin as well. So,
yeah,
like I said, I can forgive sort of some of the player stuff since that stuff is somewhat recent. The series is expected to be close, and it could go either way. The Hurricanes are the slight favorites, but the Panthers have the potential to upset them. Very true there. Very, very true.
That's right.
Here are some of the factors that could decide the series. Goaltending. Both teams have good goaltending, but the Hurricanes have a slight edge in this department. Frederik Andersen has been solid in the playoffs, and he will be looking to lead the Hurricanes to the Stanley Cup final. That's right. That's right there.
Sergei Bobrovsky has been really, really good for the Panthers, but I would probably give Frederik Andersen the edge if he's on.
Yeah, because like Sivian said yesterday, if you get playoff Bob, you get playoff Bob. But if you don't,
Woof.
So
yeah.
Special teams. The Hurricanes have a better power play than the Panthers, and they will be looking to use that to an advantage. This is where it gets wrong. The Panthers have a better penalty kill, but they will need to be strong in this area if they want to win the series. That is a flat out lie. The Hurricanes are leading the remaining playoff teams in the penalty kill. Obviously, the Panthers is good, but the Hurricanes definitely have the edge in that department. Last I looked, I believe it was at 93%. But yeah, that's not right there. Depth. The Hurricanes have more depth than the Panthers, and this could be a deciding factor in the series. This was something we talked about yesterday. The Hurricanes have a number of players who can contribute offensively, and they will be able to roll 4 lines against the Panthers. The Panthers have a top line that is good as any line in the league, but they lack depth after that. I do think the Hurricanes definitely have the edge in depth, though.
Yeah, I think the Panthers have more depth than the AI is giving them credit for here, but I would give the edge to the Hurricanes in that department.
Yeah, I would as well. And to close out, overall, the Hurricanes are the slight favorites to win this series. They have home ice advantage, a good goaltending tandem, and more depth than the Panthers. However, the Panthers have the potential to upset them, and they will be looking to make history by winning their first playoff series. They were doing good up until that last sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was hit and miss. I wouldn't say it was a flat-out failure, because it did get some stuff right, and it did all right in some areas, but then that was the biggest thing there for me, was saying that the Panthers have never won a playoff series. They definitely have. Regardless, this was fun. We're gonna do more fun stuff with Google Bard in the future. It gave us some laughs, that's for sure. And we'll definitely do more in the off season with it. But in tomorrow's episode, we'll be doing a crossover with Armando Velez of Locked On Florida Panthers as we preview this series. And again, we will give you an updated new date for our interview with Wade Minter whenever we have that available. Again, we do apologize for that. Scheduling conflicts happen. So that will come whenever it comes. Hopefully it will be soon, but we will keep you guys updated on that. In the meantime, make sure you're all are following the show on Twitter and Instagram at LO_Hurricanes. Myself on Twitter at Jared Ellis _96, and Andrew on Twitter at ASchnitt53 with the Jeff Skinner shout out. That is just the new thing when I say your Twitter handle.
I was about to say, I expect it. So,
yep, that's just the new thing. And we will talk to you guys in tomorrow's episode. And as always, let's go Canes, and be careful with AI.